Checkpoints is presented by pharmaceutical company GM Pharma.
Soso Pkhakadze, co-founder of Visual Group and president of Business Association of Georgia, declares that as a result of the government's efforts, Georgia has come closer to Europe than ever before. This is how the businessman responds to the events related to the Russian law on social media. I considered it necessary to express my attitude towards the current political events as a citizen of the country. I think that over the years, as a result of the significant efforts of the government, Georgia, like never before in our history, has come closer to Europe, which was reflected in the association agreement, within the framework of which a number of effective steps were taken to get closer to European legislation and to have safe, competitive, healthy business. All this brought us visa liberalization. At the end of the last year, we all celebrated the granting of candidate status. Naturally, in business or other activities, transparency and openness are extremely important. As one of the citizens of this country, I am sure that our country will become a member of the European family, and it will be a joint victory for all Georgia and its citizens, writes Soso Pkhakadze. Tamaz, Daushvili, economist and manager partner of DO, deeply believes that the draft law on transparency of foreign influence has nothing in common with transparency. The businessman wrote about it on the social media. I deeply believe that Georgia does not need this law either today or tomorrow. This law has nothing in common with transparency. If you want to get some additional information regarding the transparency of the spending, the grants from the non-governmental sector, it can be arranged by simply introducing one additional declaration in the tax code. The law which poses a problem for Georgia's European future is not good, and I think everything should think seriously about this issue. If this law is adopted, it will naturally cause problems, including for business. The country needs Western investment and integration into the European Union. We know very well that when countries become members of the European Union, the living quality rises significantly. Therefore, everything that prevents Georgia's integration into the European Union, including this law, is not good, Tamaz Daushvili says. Georgian business is European. It works in an European way and it has nothing to hide from the Georgian people, businessman Vano Chkhartishvili told TV company Mindia. According to Chkhartishvili, the government is doing everything to strengthen Georgia's historic European choice. The government's doors are open for business, which is demonstrated in the government's support for businessmen initiatives and working together on a favorable legislative environment, as well as in the implementation of business promotion campaigns. It's a fact that during their rule, the association agreement with the European Union was signed. With the liberalization, the free trade regime was put into effect and the EU candidate status was accepted. We are also convinced that the shortest way to EU membership is to strengthen our sovereignty. It's also the shortest way to strengthen our business, increase employment and prosperity, without which we simply cannot become a full-fledged partner of Europe. Being a member of the big family of European Union means peace, stability, and of course open and transparently doing public affairs together, the businessman said. Khazaradze, the chairman of supervisory board of ICR Group, appeals to the businesses. Don't join the list of those businessmen who preferred money to the future of their children. He wrote about this on his personal Facebook page. I mainly address businessmen. If you don't like my statement, please remove me from your friends. I wrote a post a week ago and tried to be as reserved as possible. Now I am writing for those who did not understand my previous statement. The rally organized by the government showed us that does not the one man want, and what interest does he serve, where he wants to direct the country. Today, a wise person who loves his family, friends, homeland, and most importantly feels responsible for his children. Silence is betrayal. Take a tangible step, fix your position, and don't join to the list of businessmen who preferred money and property to the future of their children, Khazaradze writes. General Director of Orbi Group, Chkhaidze, declares that transparency is the important cornerstone on which we can build new approaches, which will be the key of our future generation young people interested in business. The businessman publishes his position on the social media. Georgia is on the right path of economic development. The interest in the Georgian market on the part of European countries and other leading states is growing every day, which is due to the correct and pragmatic economic policy and directly indicates the freedom of business. Step by step, Georgia is achieving success in many directions, and this is primarily beneficial for business operating in the country to create economic welfare. On the way to the country's development, transparent, case-oriented and effective communication between business and government should also be emphasized. In general, transparency is an important cornerstone to build new approaches that will be key to our next generation of business-minded young people in the Western business world. We are sure that the European future granted by the Constitution of Georgia will give them absolutely different opportunities. Georgia's path is to Europe, Chkhaidze wrote on his personal Facebook page. The founder of Alali, Gogotishvili, states that the adoption of this law is unacceptable. When the country is so close to the European Union, I don't go into the content of the Russian law. I don't have the relevant skills, but I know that the country has been trying to join the European Union for the last 30 years. When your partners, including the European Union and the USA, say not to adopt this law, we should listen to them. When we are so close to the European Union, when negotiations should be opened, I think it's inappropriate to adopt this law today. The law raises a lot of questions when you look at both well-wishers and enemies from the same point of view, said the businessman. Zaza Gogotishvili, the founder of construction company Anagi, declares that an environment where important processes are not transparent may have a very negative impact on the country's stability and pose a threat to Georgia's European future. For me, as a Georgian businessman who has been operating on the market for 35 years, Europe and European values always will be a choice. Therefore, I understood very well the price of peace and stability that Georgia has gained over the time. An environment where important processes are not transparent may have a very negative impact on the country's stability and threaten the European future of Georgia. The Western future with stability and transparency are one of the main values, wrote Zaza Gogotishvili, the founder of Anagi. Mindia Sabanadze, the founder and chairman of the supervisory board of American holding company IG International, joins the group of businessmen who believe that the business environment in the country has never been as free and transparent as it is now. I would like to state my position regarding the current events. The activity of our company counts for many years. The business was developed during the different political administrations. In the wake of the country's development, we faced many challenges and difficulties. In recent years, the economy of Georgia has been growing dynamically. The business environment has never been as free and transparent as it is now. Effective communication, stable environment give us maximum opportunity for development. Today, the country's European development course is a joint goal of the Georgian society and the government. I deeply believe that soon Georgia will become a member of big European family, Mindia Sabanadze wrote on his personal Facebook page. The founder of Kakha traditional winemaking, Zurab Chkhaidze, declares that the current government has won several wars to strengthen the Western course and the country has a stable, transparent, free business environment. Western values are the cornerstone that unites every citizen of our country. Europe is not our choice but our heritage. It's a historical achievement that we must take care and strengthen. Today, Georgia is a country with a stable, transparent, free business environment which is confirmed by numerous international studies. Business in the country has reached the stage of cooperation with the state when important decisions are made based on mutual agreements. There are tax benefits, small and medium-sized business promotion programs, which are the main indicators of growth of Georgian economy. More transparency and stability will only bring us closer to European values, reads the statement of the businessman, which was published on the company's Facebook page. Ilia, the founder of construction company Arki, states that transparency is important in many sectors, including the non-governmental organizations. According to him, one of the main values of Europe is transparency. The goal of the absolute majority of Georgian people is to become a part of big European family. The current government has taken a number of important steps, signing the association agreement, visa liberalization, obtaining the candidate status for joining the European Union. And I'm sure that the government will continue its advancement on this path, and together we will reach the final goal, joining the European Union. Also, regardless of whether you are a supporter of the current government or not, one very important fact should be clear to everyone. After the changing of government in Georgia in 2012, the approach to the business has changed radically. A free and safe environment for doing business has been established. Entrepreneurs have the opportunity to grow their business and create new jobs. As a result, we have a stable and, most importantly, rapidly growing economy, which affects the well-being of every citizen. Finally, I would like to point out that it's our duty not to allow the ill wishers of the country to disturb the situation and maintain peace, writes Ilia Tsulaia.
The Checkpoints is presented by pharmaceutical company GM Pharma.